Hey guys, unfortunately the start of this part of the walkthrough is actually missing because I deleted it off my hard drive by mistake. Basically all you missed is Harry coming out of the Quidditch match, and Hagrid's there to tell him that Norbert isn't feeling very well, and they're going to have to go to Diagon Alley. Then we go to Diagon Alley, and Hagrid tells him that they need 3 peacock feathers, an owl feather, and 3 toadworts, but that he's going to have to go to Gringotts first to get the money to pay for this stuff. Then he goes off to the Leaky Cauldron for a butterbeer, because Hagrid's just so devoted to making Norbert feel better that he's going to make Harry do all the work while he relaxes in the Leaky Cauldron. He's such a great owner, Hagrid, isn't he? But anyway, on with the walkthrough. Okay, so here we are, guys, in Diagon Alley. Lots of rather interesting notices that we have along this way. There are lots of shops along Diagon Alley, but there's only 3 you can go into, unfortunately. I guess the staff feel that outside of the summer holidays, when the Hogwarts students are here, they don't actually get much business around here. But that could just be an assumption that I've made. They're quite funny, these notices, though.
We apologize to our customers.
I think this one's my favourite.
We are trying to locate our disappearing ink.
Disappearing ink. It's like the invisible book of invisibility they have in one of the books. They are so funny, the designers of these games. I've gone in here. This is actually one of the 3 shops that you can actually go into. Unfortunately, there's no one here at the moment. Back in 5 minutes. They're not back in 5 minutes. They're just are never here unless you have the money to spend on what it is that you need from that shop. We'll be going back there later on. You can't actually talk to those people. You can't talk to those people outside the shops, unfortunately. There is one woman over to the left here that you can go and talk to, so let's go and talk to her.
Harry Potter, stay well away from here. That is Nocturne Alley.
No, not Nocturne Alley.
The dark arts. Now run along before I turn you into a vole.
Why would you turn me into a vole? That makes no sense. Kind of interesting that Nocturne Alley is in the game when it's not in the first book. I've heard a rumour that if you get the upgraded spell and cast for the Penduatta, she'll get out of your way and you can go down Nocturne Alley, but you can't even use your wand in Diagon Alley, so I'm pretty sure that's just a rumour somebody made up. Anyway, this is Gringotts, where we have to go and get our money, which is enormous, by the way. And has a very squeaky floor.
Welcome to Gringotts, Mr. Potter. To access the vault, you must collect all the forms and then hand them to the goblin outside the door. The first vault is on.
You don't really have to complete the forms, you just have to sort of collect them. And it's a real pain because of this floor. The floor's unbelievably slippery.
Do you wish to collect some knuts?
If you wish to visit the
You've got
first
to
vault,
complete
you must
3 of these.
collecting the appropriate forms.
The first one's pretty easy, the second one's kind of difficult, and the third one, well, it's quite a long one, the last one that you have to do, but it's not that difficult. The second one, though, is really hard. No, I'll show you why when we get to it. But this is annoyingness, because you have so little control on this floor. So annoying when you... The obvious thing when you have a time limit is to do it as fast as possible, but actually, I think if you just take your time, it's a lot easier, really. Right, these are the minecarts. These are by far the hardest part of the game, this. And I suck at them. I'm not going to mince words or make any kind of excuses. I suck at the minecarts.
Good afternoon, Mr. Potter.
And these are actually the 3 wizard cards which I can't get in this game. What you have to do is you have to collect these bonus gems, and you have to collect all of them. if you miss even one of them, you don't get the card, and I just can't do it, I'm afraid. So those are 3 wizard cards that I'm afraid you're not going to see. And as a result, you're not going to see a bonus ending either. Sorry about that, guys. I have failed miserably.
Will reveal them. Collect as many Canucks as you can to complete the level.
But anyway, the Canucks actually aren't that difficult. I think if I gave it enough tries, I might actually be able to get the wizard card on this stage. Because I think on this running, actually, I only miss a couple of gems. But I still suck at the minecarts, just generally speaking. The last one is ridiculously hard. It took me forever to do. See, there are the gems. Oh, I got all of them. So it's so far so good. You can afford to miss quite a few of the coins, but you can't afford to miss any of the gems if you want to get the card. Which sucks. There are certain coins that you have to get if you want to reveal the gems. I missed quite a few there. You really have to sort of know what's to come in these minecarts. It's a case of just sort of planning ahead. Perhaps even like writing down what exactly there is to come. This is one stage of the game where I think a walkthrough really helps. These coins are easy. As are the gems. It's the spiral sort of coins that I can't do. We've nearly got enough now. There we go, we have, I suppose, what can be seen as the equivalent of 3 Canucks. I don't know. Almost got enough for a 4th Canuck there. Anyway. Passing the Canuck minecart test is pretty straightforward, but I can't get the card, unfortunately. That's why he asks you if you want to have another go, if you want to try for the card. But I just can't do it, so I'm not going to bother. If you do want to get the card, though, you have to get it there and then, because you can't go back to it later, which is also pretty annoying. I would also recommend that if you do manage to get the first card, before heading to the next vault, head out of Gringotts and save the game. Because once you go into one of the minecart missions, you can't leave without the door locking behind you. Like, even if you fail at even getting the coins, he actually won't let you leave until you've got all the coins. He'll let you leave once you've got the coin, but you can't come back.
You wish to try for the sickle now? If you wish to try for the sickle coin, you
This is really hard, this. I'll show you why in a minute. This damn slope that you have to go up. First of all, I've missed the first one, which is kind of stupid of me. And this damn slope takes forever to get up. And then you have to head back down it at the end of the mission. And if there's a form right at the top of it, and if you miss it, well, it's just impossible to backtrack up that slope. With the amount of time you'll probably have left by then. Oh, that was really stupid of me missing that one. Oh, missed that one as well. How rubbish of me. So I suck at the minecarts. I think I probably suck at this as well. Really frustrating. The time limit on this one is a bit more brutal. That one at the top of the slope, if you miss that, you're doomed. Second minecart mission.
Hello, Mr. Potter. I understand you're quite expert in the
He sounds very enthusiastic, doesn't he?
Hello, Mr. Potter. Is talented at collecting sickles. There are bonus gems hidden in this mine, and only accurate control of your mine cart will reveal them.
Yeah, I know that already.
Potter. There are many obstacles in these mines. Stay clear of them if you want to
Yeah, we
hold
know
on
that
to
as
your
well.
coins. Remember,
Does he
swing
realise
the
we've already
mine
done
cart
this?
from left to right using the directional buttons and use the cross button to lock the mine cart. Good luck.
He sounds like one of those guys at a fairground, right, who's just sort of required by his employer to say those kinds of things. He obviously doesn't actually doesn't want to actually say any of those things. You ever seen them like when you go on a roller coaster? He's like, keep your hands and feet inside the harness at all times and enjoy your ride. Sounds like one of them. But anyway, the sickles now. This first part's pretty easy because you start off fairly slow. I guess you must be heading downhill or something. This is one of the few sort of spirals in the game where you actually need to sort of take it a bit more slow because of the speed that you're going at. As well, my turning a bit too fast. I actually managed to miss one there. The thing that sucks about these minecarts is this kind of bits where there's just dead areas where there's nothing. I managed to get them all that time. I actually was trying these minecarts like over and over and over before I started recording this. Even on the Canucks one, just seeing if I could get the wizard card, and I just couldn't. It's just impossible. Well, it's not impossible. I've seen people do it. But I can't do it. Sorry, I just suck. It's these spirals that I just can't do. There must be some sort of trick to it that I'm missing. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. I think the sort of alerts that you get on the left-hand side of the screen, I don't think they come up like not enough in advance, I should say. You really sort of need to know before they come up that they're coming. So you really do need to do a bit of planning for these and know what's coming. Just managed to get enough.
Succeeded. You want to try again? Please return to the
No,
bank through this
I
door.
don't ever have to live through that traumatic experience again. And on to the last one, which is by far the hardest.
Excellent. Do you have a sickle coin now? Do you wish to try for the galleon?
Yeah, I do actually.
If you wish to try for the galleon coin, you will have to collect the correct forms again.
Oh, great. More of this shit. How annoying. This is really annoying. Like, you have no idea, unless you played it, how frustrating it is to control Harry on this. However, if you take things a little bit slowly, it's slightly less frustrating. There's actually a guy there, while you're doing this, actually polishing the floor. Like, do you not think it's been polished enough? If I'm sliding around like it's made of ice or something, do you not think it's maybe already been polished enough? I mean, my god, man. Why do you need the floor to be this slippery? Because of the game, of course. But anyway, here we go, into the minecarts.
Ah, the famous Mr. Potter. You have quite a reputation down here, sir. The other
Really?
goblins are convinced you'll steer the mine cart easily. Steering
Well, you
is
can't
still
be
left
watching
and
me
right
then,
on the
'cause I
directional
suck.
buttons. The cross button locks the mine cart. Good luck, you may need it. Be careful, Mr.
Good
Potter.
luck is
There are
right.
many obstacles
This
in
is
these
really
mines.
hard.
Steer clear of them if you want to hold on to your coins. There are bonus gems hidden in this mine, and only accurate control of your mine cart will reveal them.
The first two sort of mildly challenging. This is bloody near impossible, this one. At least as far as I'm concerned. This took me forever to do. And as you'll see from the one successful attempt I managed, I only just managed to do it. This first part's easy because you're travelling nice and slow. So many dead bit areas in these minecart bits. I think the key with this one, I think, is... And I've gone the wrong way there, haven't I? God, that was stupid on me. The key with this one, I think, is avoiding these obstacles. There are a heck of a lot of them on this one. I think there's 8 of them at least. Sometimes I can execute a spiral perfectly like that, but most of the time I mess it up completely and only manage to get a few of them. If you hit one of those obstacle things, the minecart goes flying all over the place and you've really got no hope whatsoever. God, I suck at this. Oh well. You can all just laugh in my face and watch my epic failure. This could most definitely be regarded as an epic fail, this effort on the Galleon minecart, because what you're not seeing here are all the failed attempts, and there were abundance of them. I think I was here for like about 40 minutes doing this. Like I have that much free time, so it was actually pretty annoying, because, you know, what I should have really done is I should have gone out of Gringotts and saved my game after each of the minecarts. It just didn't occur to me that it would take me so long to do the last one. But I did it in the end.
Mr. Potter, you have collected your galleons. You want to try again?
No, I do not. I don't want to have to sit through that again. Oh, to think there's actually a higher level of success that you can have on that minecart, and I just can't even do the minimum requirement. Well, I can barely do the minimum requirement. This game is often criticised for being too easy. I don't know what game you were playing. No, I'm joking. Actually, the rest of the game is pretty straightforward, but that part I find really difficult.
You've collected all 3 coins now, Mr. Potter. I hope you spend them wisely.
Now, I should really, at this point here, have gone over and saved my game. But for whatever reason, I didn't. No, I go over there and I don't save my game. Why the hell did I do that? Why did I not save my game? That makes no sense. Because, again, with these shops where you have to collect the various items you need for Norbert, once you go in, you can't save. Excuse me, you can't leave without succeeding. So you have to stay in the shop until you actually succeed.
Excellent. You have 3 sickle coins. That entitles you to purchase an eagle owl feather. My eagle owl is in the owlery, but he's rather highly strung. He must be fed before you
Eagle
can get a
owl?
feather from him.
Is that an actual species, or is that just something they've made up for the game? I thought an eagle and an owl were 2 separate breeds of bird.
Use the cross button to charm the owl treat, and then guide it to the
Am I supposed to know what that means? What are you talking about, using directional buttons and the cross button?
Once he's fed, he'll nap.
This is funny in RPG type games where characters within the game will talk about pressing the directional buttons and pressing the cross button. Surely they must wonder what the hell they're talking about. I've gone the wrong way. Ooh, glitching up there. This is pretty straightforward, actually. You just got to get him 3 treats, and then you've got to get the feather.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Well, you don't use Verdimillions and Aberforms very much, but you actually use Wingardium Leviosa and Incendio quite a bit. Would have been could have made for a lot more interesting levels if you maybe used all 4 spells a decent amount, but instead you only used 2 of them a decent amount. Use Verdimillions once outside of the lesson, and use Aberforms twice outside of the lesson.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh well. 2 spells used a decent amount during the game is better than none. These owls, which I'm managing to avoid here, will actually eat the treat if it comes too close to them. So you've got to do your best to avoid them. Once you've fed him 3 treats, he'll, for whatever reason, drop a feather, and then you just have to levitate it back over to your side of the counter. So that was pretty straightforward.
You've got your feather, I see. Well done, and thank you very much. Do call again soon, Harry, and give my regards to Hedwig. Cheerio.
So this must be where Hagrid got Hedwig. So how does he know that Harry called her Hedwig? How does he know that it was Harry's owl? I suppose Hagrid must have told him at some point. Anyway, on to probably the hardest of the 3 sort of item missions that you do here. You've got to get 3 peacock feathers.
Feel free to collect your
Ironically, though, it's the one that you can sort of, in a sense, do at the earliest point because it uses the Canuck coins.
Makes him drop his feathers. I must warn you, never use your wand against a peacock. You
can actually use your wand here, just don't use it on the peacock.
Boxes filled with things I've long forgotten.
Yeah, there's an invisibility token in one of them, but it's not much use. And for whatever reason, the music isn't working when I did this. I don't know what happened. But this also took me forever to do. I think the mistake I made is the obvious thing to do is just to chase the peacock all around. You keep getting stuck on the boxes like that, and he'll just abruptly change direction here and there, and it's impossible to keep up with him. But actually, a better approach to take is just to sneak up on him. Still not easy, though. Not for the fact you had a time limit, this actually wouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, chasing him around doesn't actually seem to get you anywhere. You've actually got to try and sneak up on him, I think. Oh, almost got it there. You just got to wait for him to stop, I think, and then just sort of run in the direction that he's going to go. Once he's stopped moving, just try and sneak up on him rather than just chasing him down. There we go. That took me quite a while. And he's having a bit of a silent day, Mr. Ollivander. Decides not to actually speak what he says there at the end. I don't know what went wrong there. Some sort of glitch, but there was no music, and Ollivander wasn't speaking to me at the end there. But anyway, this time I did have the sense to save my game. And now she's back. It's definitely been a lot more than 5 minutes, though. It's been about 20 minutes.
Welcome to the magical menagerie, Harry. I've been expecting you. It'll cost
Have you?
1
Why?
for the 3 warts, but you'll need to
Why on earth would you be expecting me?
First. I've just had a delivery, and my giant purple toad has decided to hide under the boxes. Once you've found him, use your knockback jinx.
What exactly have you
him
been delivered
and
then?
remove the wart. Be quick though. Having warts removed annoys him, and he'll disappear to spite you.
No frogs had the ability to disappear. But you just got to look for the box that's shaking. If you shoot too many of the empty boxes, she'll tell you off and you have to start again. Which is annoying. Once you get one wall, the jar somehow changes shape for some reason. I don't know if you noticed how it was much wider and much shorter before it had a wart in it. Anyway, that's the box he's in. Missed it completely. There we go. And the timer resets. I've never noticed that before. Timer resets whenever you get a wart. I don't know why it does that. It's not as if time's really a factor on this mission, because it's fairly straightforward. You just got to find him. The bigger issue is making sure you don't shoot too many of the empty boxes.
I see you've collected your warts. Thanks for your business, Harry. Bye.
Thanks for my business. Have you got something on your mind? No, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, that's that. Where am I going? Oh, I went to save my game, I think. But anyway, that's it. Hagrid comes back, and having done absolutely nothing to help his own dragon.
Let's get back to Hogwarts so we can cure poor Norbert.
Poor Norbert? What about poor me? I had to do all the work. We never actually see this dragon tonic. Hagrid just sort of says that he's well again.
We've done it, Harry. Norbert is well again. Thank
Is he?
goodness.
How can you
I
tell?
was so worried. I'm glad he's better, but sad in a way. He's old enough to leave the nest and fend for himself now. He'll want
The
to go back
nest?
home
What
now,
nest?
so, but I want to keep him here so I can look after him.
Yeah, sure, Hagrid, whatever. Another cutscene, or a bit from the book, I suppose.
Trying to convince him that he couldn't keep Norbert, his beloved dragon.
This bit, of course, is in the book.
Coaxing, Hagrid agreed. That night, Harry carried Norbert up to the tallest tower.
This bit is in the book, but it's not in the film,
and arranged to collect the dragon from the
which
tower
annoyed me, actually.
and return him to Romania. Once Norbert had been freed, however, Malfoy sprang his trap. Harry was caught by Professor McGonagall.
It wasn't really Malfoy that caught them, though.
Harry
It
was
was
to make
Filch.
his way into the Forbidden Forest and search for a wounded unicorn.
Let's split up and search for the unicorn, Harry. The best way to find wounded unicorns is to follow a trail of silver blood. It should show up well
scary.
in the sunlight. Follow the silver blood to find the unicorn. Be careful.
I don't
The
really
forest
like
can be a
how
dangerous place.
sort of there's a lack of music in the normal gameplay of the game for the most part, but I actually like the fact there's no music in this part, because it actually makes it seem a bit more creepy. I don't know why Hagrid decides to leave Harry completely on his own. Yeah. Here we have a dangerous forest with all sorts of nasty creatures in it. So I'm just going to leave a first year to fend for himself.
Incendio!
By the way, this forest actually isn't very dangerous. There's not many enemies in it, actually. You definitely use Incendio quite a bit in this forest, though, which is annoying at times. You can definitely hear quite a few sort of howls, squeaks, whatever, but you never really see very many enemies. Wow, I had no idea Harry's Flipendo was so powerful. It could knock over an old sort of oak tree. Oh, there is a bit of music, actually. about 5 seconds of music and then silence again. A bean! We've nearly got enough now. Oh, here we have the trolls again, like in the dungeon. They get about these trolls, don't they? Exactly the same as before. You just throw puff pods at them when they're over the manholes. And that causes them to sneeze, and that, for some unexplained reason, causes them to drop down into the manhole and leave behind an every flavour bean. Oh, we've nearly got enough. 4 more. The annoying thing about that every flavour bean, the last one actually, you will almost always get the required amount of beans while you're in this forest. Obviously, when you're in the forest, you actually can't go and give them to Fred and George yet. I'm not entirely sure what Incendio is doing here by causing these branches to sort of pop off like that. You think they would burn? Anyway, over we go. 1 more bean, that's all we need. Don't really need that chocolate frog, but whatever. You don't really need to defeat this, whatever the hell it is, I don't know. But you get house points if you do, so you might as well. And using Incendio a decent amount in this forest. Oh, and you get some beans as well. Now we have enough. Don't need this potion, really. The annoying thing about these potions, you can't take them with you. You have to drink them there and then, and I don't need it. So what I decided to do was, I actually decided just to leave it there for the time being, and I would come back for it later, but I just forgot about it, so in the end I never actually used it. I go to all the trouble of mixing it, and then I don't use it. That's kind of stupid. They really cheapened out with just having the potion ingredients being shown in text form when you're mixing the potion. You know, couldn't they have had some sort of animated image of what you were actually putting in there? You compare that to the potion making that you have in, I think it's Half-Blood Prince for the Wii. Like, you actually pick up the remote, you actually sort of pour things in, you shake the remote to get it to boil a cauldron. That's actually... Half-Blood Prince actually isn't that good a game, but the potion mixing is really good, I think, really creative. Compare it to in this game where you're just pressing buttons. This is a bit where actually a lot of people get stuck, because it appears to be just a dead end. But what you do is you defeat this turtle, and he conveniently makes a hole in the tree for you. That is pretty confusing, that it does just appear to be a dead end. And there doesn't appear to be any kind of obvious way to defeat the turtle.
Ah, Potter.
You have to hit him up the backside.
I need to tell you that we haven't found the unicorn yet. I doubt how you can find the boots on his feet without a map. Don't get lost, Potter. Remember these woods
Oh,
can be
keep
very
in mind,
dangerous.
Malfoy, he's the one who's leading you through this forest. I don't... You'd be able to find your way through this forest. Where does he go, though? Does he go through that sort of black doorway, or... Where does he go? There is nowhere else to go. Not quite sure why they put a save game thing just there. It would make sense to put it at the beginning of the Forbidden Forest stage, not like midway through it. Ooh. A lot of Incendio casting, not many enemies to fight though. Again, this could have been potentially quite a difficult stage with lots of enemies and stuff, but no, it's just a simple sort of obstacle course type thing. And a lot of them are the same thing over and over. Like, another turtle that we have to kill in order to make a hole in the tree. We've done this already. I just noticed he's shooting fire out of his arse. Is this a kid's game? the hole in the tree. It just sort of appears after a few seconds. Primitive sort of PlayStation 1 graphics. Oh, look, there's Hagrid.
I see you found the unicorn's blood trail, Harry. I don't understand what would be
Found it?
unicorns.
I've just sort of been
Never heard
following
anything
it
like
when you
before.
told me to.
There's summit in these woods that shouldn't be. Be careful.
Like
now,
us,
stay
maybe.
with the path. Call me if you find anything.
Why don't you just stay with me? This forest is so dangerous, or at least you're claiming that it's dangerous, and yet you're just leaving me on my own. You're so responsible, aren't you, Hagrid? This does come across as kind of creepy, just wandering around this desolate forest. So I'll give the game credit for that. And down here we have what is the last wizard card in the game. Not that it is really important for me to get the wizard cards now, because I didn't get the ones on the minecart, so you can't see the bonus ending, unfortunately. But I'll get it anyway, just to show it to you. God, this is annoying. There we go. Quite satisfying, that, actually. Just about the only enemy in the entire forest that you come across. I was thinking when I first played this game there might be like some sort of big boss battle at the end of it, but there isn't. More beans that we actually don't need now because we've got enough. And up on the ceiling or the sky or whatever, we have our last wizard card. Hooray! If we'd been successful in the minecarts, we would have completed it by now. There she is, Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. Medieval. Dates unknown. Co-founder.
We already have
of
Gryffindor and Slytherin, and I think one of the minecart wizard cards is Hufflepuff. So you have all four of the Hogwarts founders among the wizard cards. Now we can give Fred and George their
Portrait
beans.
password is Wolf Spain. Thanks for the beans, Harry. We'll make sure they find a good home. Have you
Like
heard
your
the
stomach.
rumour? There's a troll on the loose around here. Smells worse
Yeah,
than
we
Percy's
fought him
sock.
like ages
And
ago.
that's saying something.
Really?
Spain.
And now we head into the portrait. Must be uncomfortable having to stay in a suit of armour the whole time. Anyway, this is an upgrade on the Flipendo. I don't really know how much difference it actually makes. I've never really noticed it having any sort of extra effect, but maybe it does. Anyway, back to the game itself. We're nearly at the end now. Just one more thing we have to do.
Incendio!
Oh, messed up completely there. That rubbish. Come on. You know what to do. Alright! Really impressive, the jump Harry makes here. It's like twice his height, that ledge. And again. Wow. Harry's very strong. And this, of course, is in the book. Mysterious hooded figure. strange hooded figure, which makes Harry fall dramatically. What has happened?
Harry was rescued in the nick of time by the centaur Firenze and rode on his back.
Well, that was kind of an anticlimax.
Firenze explained that unicorn blood had the power to keep someone alive who was an inch from death. Harry realized that the hooded figure he'd seen in the clearing was none other than he who must not be named, Lord Voldemort.
Scary.